The fairs were held here.
Yeah, there used to be sheep pens and all over there.
Sheep pens up there, yes.
Yeah.
And they had cattle, horses, pigs,
That's right,
everything. During the school year, it was hard on us going to school in the CBS. We had to pass up the roadway there, and the cattle were out on the road. And being city lads, we were always afraid of the bit of manure that was on the ground. So we were always a bit scary going to school on the fair day.
Yeah, there used to be the sheep pens, and they were all railed in, and you'd love looking at them, and then all the cows and all that. And there used to be mostly a lot of them talking, and the men out around the road there where we used to pass down to go to school. And the next morning then, when you'd be passing down, there'd be this horse and thing washing the road. And that we were fascinated by that.
And what else do you remember of Fair Day itself then?
It'd be very, very busy. An awful lot of people would be there, and you wouldn't know them or anything, but there'd be an awful lot of people there.
And you'd look forward to it then, it was kind of an event.
Yeah, and you'd hear the men talking and you'd see all the different horses and asses and all sorts.
Actually, selling the horses was worth seeing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the way they'd run
them
up and down the road there,
yeah.
and then the spit on the hand
is
right.
Make the deal.
And there'd be a man in between making the deal. There used to be a man in between making the deal. And Ryan's down there. Mrs. Ryan used to have a kind of like an eating house. And she used to supply all the dinners to all, like the farmers, and the people would come in from the farming for the day.
And can you tell me more about the making the deal then? You said that a fella used to stand between them.
Yeah, a fella stand between them because they couldn't agree. They couldn't agree on a price, and he'd be a kind of in betweener. And we'd say if it was €20, he'd settle maybe for half then. And he'd say, lads, kind of spit on it, and that'd be it. And he'd get some little thing out of it then for making the deal. Yeah. And that was their way of making their few bob for the day.
If they didn't agree, they'd kind of turn around and be the way walk away, that was all finished and done.
So there was great drama, as part of the negotiation, was there,
yeah? Yeah.
My memory is going down with 2 cans and filling them up with milk and bringing them home and getting butter and helping out the farmers. We got paid for that as well, a penny.
Who paid you the penny?
The farmers were helping them.
Well,
the cows were on the middle of the road. Everything was on the middle of the road. And I remember when they had the turf, big mounds of turf in the fair green. During the war, Billy, was it?
During the war?
Yeah.
They stored turf here from the top to the bottom.
Remember.
There were 3 big, all huge reeks of it, and sure, there were, the county council had it. They used to supply all their hospitals and all out of here. And sure, there were lads had to get turf to bring home, There was a man watching it.
Yeah, pinching it.
And he had in the night, and sure, they try and drag him up, get him up. He had dogs, get himself and the dogs up to that end. And you'll go to work at this end, fill in your bag.
There was dances in the fair green, and they had a stage there. And there was dances, and my father was playing on the stage. And Etna Garrigan, she'd be an aunt of Johnny Logan's. She was playing the banjo. And you had Jim Bryan playing the accordion, so there was great dances there.
On the clash there, across the road, a stage, they had, there'd be a good crowd at it, it wouldn't be packed, but you had fountains you could dance. They stopped it.
Yeah.
They used to do what was known as the deep.
Right.
To be dancing, so what, and a fella slide out like that. He slide out his leg, the priest stopped it. You could call it, could call it dirty dancing, if you like.
And the priest stopped it because of the particular
the
particular
priest
dance
stopped it, yeah.
And why was that seen as immoral?
There was a band here, you see. Fife and drum band, just round the corner, the band room.
And drum.
And till they were running it. It was one man now was running, trying to make a few bob for the. He stopped it. doing the deep. It is.
Do you remember Paddy Murphy training racehorses on the fair green?
I do here, yeah.
He used
I
to run
do.
the horses around there to break them in.
Break them in
circle
around
there.
Now, Tommy Delaney went. Tommy went off with him, didn't he? Went England. It is.
He had a racing stable just up here in New Street for 6 or 7 horses. So you can imagine in the middle of the city, a racehorse trainer.
And so what era would that have been?
50s, as I remember it. So I was going to school over here.
And training
Certainly
racehorses right here on the fair
He
green?
used to break them in here in a circle around here, where we're standing.
He used to ring him.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be ringing them in the mornings.
Yeah.
You know, I think Francis Short went off with him, and Tommy went off with him. And Tommy, that lady's brother. He's only a small fella, but he was
I just know that my brother trained with them Murphy men. That's where he first got into the horses, you know.
And do you remember actually seeing the horse training going on here?
A little bit of it, not much, yeah. But I remember my brother going up and down. He was 7 years older than me, so he was, you know, ahead of me, like. But he went away out of Kilkenny here when he was only 13 to go to Lambourne to train to be a jockey. So he did, and he was second to Lester Piggott and another lad, and Gordon Richards. He was, yeah.
And he started his training right here.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Francie Short. Francie had a bit of a problem with his weight, so he used to come down to the brewery. What we used to say, throwing out the grains. That was the spent grains from the mash tun. Very, very warm, hot. Temperature about 140 degrees. But Francie used to wear all the clothes he could get in and work up a big lather of sweat. Every week he'd be down there when he'd want to lose a few pounds before a race.
Really?
Yeah.
He was born and reared in Walton Street.
Up at the top of Walton.
Shorts at the top of Walton Street.
He was a great jockey. He finished fourth in a Grand National. In fact, it was a Grand National in 1964.
Family affair.
But 67 I should say, all the horses fell. And Francie was the first jockey and horse over the fence. Unfortunately, he finished about 4th or 5th afterwards.
And he kind of used the brewery as kind of a sauna to heat to lose.
Sauna, yeah. The workers would get in there and you have a pants on them. But when Francie come down then, they'd be delighted to see Francie coming down to save them getting into the hot tank. And Francie would have everything on, jumpers, pull-ups, the whole lot, and let out the grains, the spent grains after the brew, will he?
And he'd be shoveling the spent grains out.
Out, yeah.
Okay.
Take about an hour and a half. Delighted with himself.
That's a great story.
They were a family of jockeys.
Just for the recording, I'm going to ask Paddy just to explain to us where we are now.
You're at the site of the old Kilkenny jail, which was built there, stood there. There's a photograph of it here, which is at the intersection of the jail road, Stephen Street and Roxas Street. There is a monument there saying when the jail was opened and when it was closed and when it was knocked down. The stones from the jail were brought across to Nolan Park, and they made a bank out of it like Hill 16. So that's where we are now at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. And would you have any memories or any stories about the jail yourself that you'd like to share?
No, I'd be a bit young now. I remember when it was standing all right, but we never, it was a no-go area. We didn't go in. Then they knocked it down around 1948 or so, and they built all those houses, Francis Terrace, Father Murphy Square. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Paddy.
We played in it when we were young. We used to get into a hole in the wall and we played in the back of it.
And do you remember any prisoners and any
I
period
don't
when there
know.
were
I
prisoners in there?
don't. The grandmother would tell me they'd be down outside the gate the morning of an execution, and they'd be all saying the rosary there, all women, and men. They'd be saying the rosary outside the gate.
And Mary,
My father was a prisoner in it, and he was in it for months and months. He was caught by the Black and Tans. His brother was with him, and they were there for months. So they had a terrible life. They were very cruel to him, they used to make them, do duties, and they kind of made them do everything, slash out and do everything, So the food was very bad.
Did he tell you anything in particular about the food?
No, just said that the food was very bad, and the way they were treated, they were so bad. They were very badly treated and that. So they got out after, I don't know how many months. Some Delupri down here in Irishtown, he had a key that he'd made for De Valera to get him out of prison. So they brought up that key. Apparently that has something to do with the jail here. So that's how they got out after months and months and months.
Oh, they
were very badly treated. They were like skeletons when they came out. Very bad. They didn't sleep at night or anything. They used to make them parade up and down, like duties, do heavy duties and everything. So.
Flow on, lovely river, flow gently along, by waters so sweet, sounds the lark's merry song. On your green banks I wander, where first I did join, with you, lovely Marie, the rose of moonlight. Oh, Molly, dear Molly, it breaks my fond heart to know that we two forever must part. When I think of you, Molly, when the sun and moon shines on the banks of the shore that flows down by Mooncoin. Up the cats!